Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together. Let's
I-
make some dubious choices together.
Right, because us adults have never done a dumb thing in our entire lives.
Oh,
honestly, if people
God,
start going
no.
off about, oh, you shouldn't do this thing or whatever else, the thing that frustrates me is going the reasons why people are basically breaking rules sometimes is not just to break a rule, but it's to also understand things. It's how else are you supposed to understand this shit? Oh, well, when you immediately become 18 or 21, that's the only time
You
finally...
instantly have full comprehension bequeathed upon you. Poof,
Poof!
Just in the forehead. Pap.
Right, and it's
Right.
that's not how the world functions. So this is gonna be interesting. She has never drunk before.
Not once.
Oh shit.
Screw that. I'm going to have fun. That sounds like a
sounds
total turnaround. Look, I was posturing, okay, and then dumped the whole thing and going, screw it. Gonna have fun.
That doesn't. I mean, it's not just posturing, but it's it is just posturing. It is literally going I am still anxious. That makes sense to me. Kayla going, I'm freaking out, kind of, and then going, okay, I can do this. I'm really good at putting on a game face. She's very good at game face.
But why does she need a game face to go?
Because social pressures. That's another thing of going so what we were actually talking about before this even started is going sometimes it's you're breaking a rule because something actually isn't working. There is something else, it doesn't mean it's in all cases. Sometimes there really are some people who go, I'm just gonna break something because I can and because I want to, but there is also a lot of times you haven't really taught,
We're
anybody had to be,
something.
You basically have any, serious amount of, analysis, or basically going, why are these rules in place? You haven't explained the reasons why.
Yeah, one of the things that I said was basically that when you rebel, you're rebelling against something.
Right.
And everybody rebels or can rebel differently, but there is something you're essentially pushing against.
There's always that thing that I actually kind of wish that people would do was explain more things. It's a thing that I've watched, and I hate to say it, and people, oh, you've never had kids before, and I'm I don't fucking care. It still annoys me as somebody who used to be a kid of just watching other adults treat their children like garbage, just go, no, you just can't do it. And the kid goes, why? And they go, because I said so.
And the reality is it's not because you said so.
Yeah.
It's because of reasons in your head that make you want to say so.
Right.
And you as an adult may not even know what those reasons are, but they're an emotional experience of don't do that.
Right.
And sometimes when I talk to parents, just as an adult, and been they're getting sometimes they get that parenting remorse kind of thing, and they just kind of confide in their other adult friends. They're just oh my God, I did this thing with my kid and he just kept doing this. And I was so embarrassed that I just screamed at him because basically they were feeling a social pressure that they interpreted from the people around them. So actually one good example that I think was really cute was
That's a little morbid.
I say cute of social pressure. Basically, of parents doing something because of social pressure. So, I was
okay.
at...
Okay.
I'm
thinking that it's basically going to be something terrible and awful, but I'm
so hang on. So this is parents being subject to social pressure.
Yep.
And the pressure doesn't actually exist.
Yes.
It's a perceived pressure.
Yes.
So, I was with my family, at church, because, you all do that when you're certain, but anyways.
Certain age, yeah.
But this was at the Unitarian church, so it was actually when I was older, so it was pretty cool.
Right.
It was a little better than what I more grew up with. Anyways, but there was this lovely couple of fathers there, and they had a brand new baby that they had just adopted, right? And she was teeny tiny and super cute, right?
Aww.
She was probably about 6 weeks old, and they're just holding her, and she keeps peeping and squeaking, just making these tiny, adorable little sounds. And some people maybe not like baby sounds, that's okay, but she wasn't crying or anything, right?
Just being
active,
sort
of making noise, making squeaks and gurgles and stuff. And they just, both of them, I could see the other people around them kind of giggling or smiling or going, look at how cute this couple of dads is with their new baby. And the dads just kept getting more and more and more anxious, going, she has to be quiet. And they didn't do anything, but they finally got up and left. And it was 6 or 7 people at the end of the service went, it was fine, you were fine. But it was this perceived social pressure that made them act rather than actual social pressure that made them act. And I've other parents that I've talked to, there's been this balance between yes, sometimes people are actually like judging you and you're trying to fix that. And other times it's not even there and you're just going, but I feel like this is inappropriate, so I need to fix it.
Right.
And you enact things on your kids because of that perception, even if, or on your own choices, even though it's not there. So
Right.
there's a lot of that with just people interacting with each other as well.
Gosh, it's like, you know what, if we should just, you know, spend more time probably educating each other and actually being more clear about what we as a society are trying to go towards, maybe we would be able to encounter those situations just a little bit less.
So when I say
it
was a more wholesome example
right.
of the kind of thing that can go very badly, but in this case they just
I appreciate that, but starting off with that was cute. Afterwards, that sounded awful.
Like, oh my god.
Okay,
all right, so here we go. Woohoo! Let's get this party started.
I am immediately high.
All right, here we go.
She throws her hands into the air and heads out to join the rest dancing near the pool.
So what I did was I went, my friend is being inappropriate. Then I went, shit, I feel social pressure. I downed this drink, went, yeah, YOLO, and then abandoned my friend with this male, with this man who is,
wow, whoa. Okay, sorry, I just
with this
guy, boy
guy. Like I couldn't decide what age he was, so I didn't know man or boy. So I picked, in the middle. Like I was just
the middle is male.
Apparently.
All right, you guys, we know how this works. There's a teenager.
All the ages of the boy pronoun of him pronoun. I don't know. So I apologize for that. But it's just like, and then she just leaves you there with alcohol in your face, and you're like apparently the more naive party of the two.
Right.
And I'm going, why does she leave you there? Okay?
What?
All right, anyway.
I can't believe how fast the alcohol affects her, because I have no idea, and I just, wow, that's something I don't understand.
And the idea is
how fast it works.
That actually probably didn't affect her at all. She's
Which,
just like,
again,
I'm so awkward, I need to get out of here.
Burn literally has no idea.
Nope.
So we had that discussion though about alcohol affecting people. Some people, yes, it does hit them pretty quickly.
But not in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, so
as far as I know, nobody gets hit by inebriation in 10 seconds.
Yes.
You can have an allergic reaction in 10 seconds.
Oh God,
but that's not going to make you act drunk.
It's going to make you act itchy.
Sick and unhappy.
I've actually sometimes heard terrible where people are talking about they had an allergic reaction to alcohol and they're like my insides were just itching and crawling, and it was like it was terrible.
You're like bad news. All right.
Bad news bears.
Your friend sure knows how to have fun.
Oh, believe me, she does. I must reinforce quickly my friend's social status because I'm feeling pressure because guy is hot. Honestly, I find that particular behavior to be so fascinating that really a lot of people go, if I'm attracted to this person, I'm going to make basically more uneducated or basically obviously especially even to the person themselves, really ridiculous choices.
Yes.
Just to basically try to save face because I find someone to be attractive and going because otherwise they won't like me, they won't talk to me, and going we put so much stock and value as a society, honestly, in people who are attractive. It's wild.
On the other hand, I'm like, this silhouette doesn't look like a kid to me. Yeah. It doesn't mean it can't be. I'm just like, this looks like a grown man so much.
Which is again what can make this really awkward.
But we don't know how old he is, but he is in your class somewhere. He goes to your school somewhere. So he's not that far away.
Right.
It's like the most you could be is 4 years apart, except for you're 18. So have you already graduated high school and you're in college now, early college, and he's in your college, or he's 18 because he still goes to your school.
So I'm what schools are we talking? I feel like one of the reasons, part of the thing that makes me frustrated in reference to stuff like this is that I feel like what's happening with a lot of dating games is they're going, you have to be over 18 because otherwise then you basically get decency police on you going, you cannot have kids running off who are under the age of 18 going and getting drunk, because at least they're 18, they're an adult, right?
Or doing any other activities that might be involved in a dating or romance game.
Right? And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I knew plenty of kids, even when I was in middle school, who were already dating. Now, sure, I never picked up on it or really liked the idea at all when I was that young, but other people around me did. Also, granted, I had a lot of social pressure, though, from my own religious background of going you never want to be involved with anyone because it will be the worst thing ever.
You will never do anything ever until the day you are married, and poof, that is the day you will finally feel attraction and interest.
Right. And
just like the magical poof, you know all the adult things when you hit midnight.
Which definitely, I think I've said before.
The morning of your 18th birthday.
Right? That has actually, though, definitely contributed to a lot of my, basically, self-image problems, because you have such extreme, basically, societal societal
Okay,
like
so
or
I didn't
subculture
read
pressure.
this line.
Oh yeah, this
at
is
all.
awkward. I was like,
Okay, so here's the experience. Also, in this case, so what the writers have written is you got brought here. He mixed some bottles together, which somehow created drinks. Your friend downed one of the drinks after feeling super uncomfortable
ran away.
and ran out to party. The other 2 drinks vanished, and he's taking you to a bedroom, or you're both holding them for some reason, which we never specifically took one.
Right.
Or he's holding 2 drinks in
As
one hand, grabs you with the other hand.
I've seen
and
people
takes you
do
to the
that
bedroom.
before. That's actually quite a lot of skill.
So he's got the stems between his fingers in
Uh-huh.
one hand, and then he just reaches out, grabs you the other, like
Right.
I am so suave.
Right.
Yes. So Jonathan grabs my hand.
Jonathan
and
grabs
takes me
my
to a-
hand. It was me.
I'm just like, sorry, go ahead.
I says, Jonathan grabs my hand and takes me to a quiet bedroom.
I mean, it says the music stopped, but I'm like, okay. So again, is this a house? Is this a condo? Is this an apartment? Have we actually rented the area outdoors? All right, what is your world building?
We
Like,
need
what
to know
exists
where
here?
we are because
And if it's a bedroom, so it's like this is someone's apartment, and that is literally the public area around the condos.
I'm also like, is that supposed to be like a McMansion?
I'd say a high-rise McMansion going, I don't even know.
With 90 million bedrooms.
You know what it is?
That's again where I'm like,
this is my mansion, but what it looks like is a skyscraper just for fun.
This is actually, though, me also partially guessing that, my guess is that the publisher, Genius, or maybe like it's a characteristic of how the games work, that they have a certain pool of basically backgrounds that they pull from.
Right.
So I think the reason why we laughed so hard at this background to begin with is because this background was sort of just like, what do we have on hand? This is what we have.
Also,
cool.
I'm like, it's nighttime out there at the party, but then this window suggests daytime?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so quiet bedroom. Holy crap!
Whoa!
That's tiny, itty-bitty little corner kitchen, giant 4-poster bed. It's a converted living room.
It's all right.
fine.
It's the servants' kitchen.
Oh, the servant's kitchen! Oh my god!
Oh my god, that would be
yes.
so terrible. Like, we're gonna go super...
It's a staff kitchen, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
not the one they cook for
we're
you.
We're gonna call them servants because for some fucking reason
they
there are
would
still
be.
people going, these are my servants, and you're all like,
here we
fucker,
go.
I'm staff, you do not own me.
This mansion, that building that looks like a high-rise is a mansion? Have you really seen a box high-rise mansion? It just looks like an apartment building, but that's
Now,
your mansion?
again, if you want to go to see something that's really fucking funny, you should go look up McMansion Hell.
Oh, God.
Like, God, it's super funny. I know they have a Tumblr, but, like, it's super great where they basically break down and talk about architecture and design in relation to bad or basically mansions that they personally, because it is run by a person,
But they don't
who
like.
owns up to going, like, I am a person who likes architecture, and I hate these mansions, but I also love to hate them because they're such a terrible conglomerate, basically, of, like, ideas.
So many of them are those kinds of choices, like this is what the rich people have.
Look like, yeah.
This is the luxury, so I will choose all of it. It's like building your deck in Magic and going, I need every single card.
We're talking about the game Magic the Gathering.
Yes, Magic the Gathering. I apologize. So, but yeah, it's like, or building your deck in any competitive card game, whether it's Pokemon or whatever,
Right.
and going, I need everything.
Right.
You can't pick a color, you can't pick a style, you can't pick, I need
Pick
all
a theme,
I need
yep.
every epic, I need every legendary Pokemon
just in
ever.
case something
It
comes
doesn't matter
along.
what the colors are, it doesn't matter what they use as far as elements, I need every legendary Pokemon.
I was
because
always
they're all the status.
so bad at doing Pokemon cards, and like I was like, people were like, let's do this competitively, and I went, I want to collect them. Goodbye.
Right, okay, here we go.
You seem to know this mansion very well. It's gonna end up being his, I'm
And
sure.
that it is a mansion at all.
Right?
That outside did not look like a
mansion
at
at
all.
all.
It looked like I said, like a hotel or like some nice apartments, but more like a hotel.
Yes.
And going, was that your sort of courtyard that looked like an event space? Parents, oh yes, we'll be able to afford this mansion if we just rent everything around it for events at all times. It's fun.
I honestly,
yes,
I
darling.
find it fascinating that so many people actually do that. Of being like, I bought this really expensive house, except I didn't buy it. I got it on, a mortgage, and then what I did is I just went and I rented the rest out, and I just don't live here. I'm like, it's so weird to me.
Going,
like, what?
This is my income, it's my event space. Or going, what I do is I live in the tiny little, like mother-in-law suite, what they call them, down in the basement, which I thought was weird the first time I heard that. I was like, this is a what? And they're like, it's a basically tiny little apartment in the basement. It's your mother-in-law suite. And I'm like, okay.
Quick,
anyway,
put your mother-in-law in a corner.
right? And I was like,
away from
but I
everyone.
have seen like this idea from like some people going, yeah, you do real estate investing, as they've gotten to adults and they figure out what other adults do or they theorize they do, and going, sometimes you just move yourself into the mother-in-law suite and you rent the entire freaking house out.
Right.
And then that's how you make your money. And I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Luna and I have known each other for a long time.
I keep forgetting this is Luna's house.
It's Luna's party, but we don't know it's Luna's house.
I think that
we know it's Luna's party.
I think at this point this is saying this is Luna's mansion.
Oh, I'm
which
sure.
means that, again, oh yes, we're like, does Byrne actually have money? Byrne has money.
Byrne seems
like
to
this
have
is
money.
ridiculous.
It's fine.
Everybody has
They
money.
all go to a fancy school, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right. Her parents are shareholders in my family business.
What's that?
What do you do, my sir, Mr. Man?
Interesting.
Hi.
Hi.
It sure is a bedroom.
Sure is the thing about boys.
Do you want to know
Yeah.
what's more interesting?
Me? I mean, my shoes? I mean, my fashion?
Okay, so I didn't want to play this guy predatory, but I pegged him as going to be a predatory person immediately.
that happens.
Because I was confident that that's what he was. So I will say that I don't like this trope and I don't like the stereotype. I'm not saying that people can't hurt each other and that you can't have people who are going to do bad, questionable, or inappropriate things.
Conflict makes for an interesting story.
I was going to say, but I don't like writing them for tropey purposes or drama. People don't exist just to create drama in your plot, so it's a complicated story experience. All right.
Yes.
I'm the reason you were invited to this party.
Oh.
I've had my eye on you. I've been watching you for years. I mean...
I'm taken aback to hear that.
You should be. I asked Luna to invite you.
I have no warning bells. I'm very new to this. Thank you, I guess.
Don't mention it. Actually,
I'm also like,
don't.
That's terrible. Your friend, you're like, okay, well, the thing is Byrne did mention in the beginning being like, Luna isn't as good of a friend, which is fine. You don't need to have...
I thought she mentioned she didn't know Luna at all, and Luna probably only invited her because she helped her with her homework. I mean, she never said how or if she knew Luna at all.
Right.
She probably only invited me because I helped her with her homework.
Okay.
So we actually don't know how well she knows Luna at all.
Also, though, the thing that bothers me is I love the implication, too, that Luna would, like, look at this guy and go, yeah, I'm gonna totally try to help you.
Hook up with somebody.
Hook up with somebody that I've only met vaguely. I mean, I guess sometimes that happens where people are like, yeah, sure, we can invite that person. Like, we don't know what Jonathan basically acts like in a social scenario with other people.
Sometimes I have had this weird experience from people who have, and I will just say from people who don't really fit into my social circle very well. You know, sometimes you meet people and they're like, we'll be friends, and you realize you have nothing in common, and they keep trying to friend you really hard, and you're going, really, everything we've tried just isn't working. It's not like it's the worst time, but I'd rather spend my time doing something else every time.
Right.
And just this experience of going, yeah, you just help your friends hook up. Yeah, they just help me get with their friend, and I'm just like, I have never been a part of help your friend get laid on somebody else culture at all, but I've been exposed to it. It's the weirdest feeling thing to me. No judgment, do whatever you like, but for me, it feels weird.
Well, especially because, like, as far as I could tell, because I've seen it as well, where people will talk about it, and I'm just like, as far as I can tell, they don't really seem to know them very well. And most of the time they're just like, yeah, that sounds, the idea of it on its own, separate from all the other basically personality traits of both individuals involved, sounds hot or interesting or fun.
Or like
you guys
want to get laid and you want to get laid, so you can just do it with each other.
Right, you break it down literally that far, and sometimes it feels very inconsiderate, I guess.
To me, it just feels super, reductive and weirdly inconsiderate,
right?
I guess. All right, here we go. Well, we're going to get to a cliffhanger real quick.
Don't mention it. Jonathan realizes that I haven't taken a sip of the cocktail that he made.
Well,
okay, now that sounds like, again, we're getting into levels of basically, like, him going, I need you to be kind of drunk.
Also going, how do you notice that he realizes it? Not Jonathan looks at...
I was going to bring that up next, going, like, the thing is that's an immediate setup, though, to warn you of being, like, he's now doing this thing. That's a weird, like, narrator dissonance.
In his head.
Yes.
Jonathan realizes that I haven't. She can now read his mind.
Yep, pretty much.
Like, that is what that Ted says instead of, I see Jonathan staring at my drink as if. Or as though, kind of thing.
Or I go, and I see him staring at my drink. Like, he looks like he's...
And I realize I haven't taken
a drink. Or I am worried that he is thinking about how I haven't taken a drink. Like, there's a way to write this so this doesn't come off that weird. But believe me, this is going to be weird anyway.
Also, are we holding that drink? Like, did he ever hand it to us? He's holding it in his hand still, 2 stems in one hand, going, I realize you haven't... Like, looks at it, looks at you, looks at it, looks at you, and you're like... Should I take it?
Hi! Sir, you're the one with it.
Hi.
Like,
aren't you going to drink it?
All
right, so aren't you going to drink it until next time?
is awesome. We will see. So if you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We got some links in the description down below.
Yep.
And other than that, though, I have been Scandal.
And I you know what? It would be lovely to hear from you guys on this. This game has been really unusual so far. And I have been Liz. And it was great playing with you. Bye!